Everyone, how we doing today? Hope you're staying safe, sane, and healthy. I've been very interested in trying to figure out the economic impact of social distancing, flattening the curve, all of that. I think it's very intuitive for all of us to see that mortality rates, that the impact on our healthcare system is important, is easy to understand, is something we should care about. But what I have been thinking about the last couple of weeks is what is happening to our economy, right? We've essentially told 30% of it to go home, sit down and watch TV. So I've been trying to research the 1918 epidemic flu, right? The Spanish flu, but not for, mortality rates and flattening the curve and social distancing and whether or not wearing a mask works or any of that health stuff. I think there's been enough talk about that. What I want to do is go back and, okay, what happened to the economies of the cities? And after some research, I found an article from the New York Times. I certainly hope to find others. And if any of you see reports or articles talking about the economies post Spanish flu, please send them my direction. But in this article, there was some comparisons between geographically close cities, and there were three of them: Minneapolis, and then St. Paul, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh, and then LA and San Francisco. Now you have to remember this data is from 1918. We have to appreciate that there wasn't air travel and all of these other necessities that we take for granted today. But again, these three cities, geographically close, tackled the pandemic, the Spanish flu, differently. And it was interesting to see what's going on. Just for context, again, the Spanish flu, again, according to this article, and I've seen different numbers, but we're going to assume they're close enough. 100 million people perished worldwide. The U.S. saw 675 deaths related to the Spanish flu. What is very clear is flattening the curve worked, right? Economies or cities that went after it early fared better, specifically Minneapolis, Cleveland, and LA. These are the cities that were highlighted as attacking the problem seriously. They had longer, gathering, no gatherings and, stay at homes and things of that nature, while St. Paul, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco did not. They reacted later. San Francisco versus LA, for example. San Francisco said just wear masks, all's good. But then there were the outcomes, and that's what I wanted to figure out. So specifically, the data again came from 1920 through 1925. Again, years after this. The cities that attacked it early had larger gains in manufacturing, both employment and output. They also saw increases in bank assets. Now, again, remember this is 1918, this is pre-depression, all of these things. But I found this data interesting because that's what we have to start thinking about. We will get to the other side of this, but what does our economy look like? There will be winners and losers like there are all the time. So I think about today, like New York and San Francisco, where I live. San Francisco, for the greater part, went into this early. I think we're in week 7 of this stay-at-home order, and by all accounts, New York was later. I just wonder what this means for the New York economy versus San Francisco. Maybe population drops in New York. I don't. These are just questions I'm asking myself now. And again, as frustrating and as frustrating is the only word I can come up with in this live stream, that the stay-at-home orders are, that we are now in week 7. At least looking back to 1918, which is the closest example I have heard, there is proof that the economies that attacked this early, attacked it together, fared better, at least across 3 metrics that were tracked in 1918 timeframe. Again, manufacturing, employment, it came back better. output. The output from the factories was significantly higher. And of course, the banking assets were higher, which probably wouldn't surprise you if employment and output are higher, that basically the economies were stronger, the local economies. So again, there is proof. I want to find other articles. I want to spend the next week reading about the economies of cities that went after this. I think it's important. I think it's important both for real estate investing, cost of capital. This event's going to change things, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Oh, I totally agree, Josh. This needs to open up. We need to wish them luck. But I'm trying to already play it forward. Like, what does the second half of 2020 look like? For example, again, going back to New York and San Francisco, I think New York is on lockdown much longer, right? More densely populated. I think life in New York is very different than it was going into this. Oh, I totally agree, Bob. This is not sustainable. We have to start opening up. I'm just asking the questions of what happens after. We have essentially told 33% of our economy to go home and sit down. It is not sustainable. I'm not trying to say it is. I'm not even trying to say it's a good idea. I'm as frustrated and pissed off as the next person. But I'm just trying to figure out, is there a silver lining to all of this? Yes, we know deaths will be down, but that's deaths compared to, because of this. There's a lot of other stuff going on in our economy now with everybody staying home that we're not talking about. So I'm just trying to figure out, if you find an article about the economy post 1918 Spanish flu, please send it my direction. Please leave it in comments. I want to feel better about this decisions. I want to act with informed information. This is stuff we need to start thinking about, because let's hope most of us are past the midpoint at least of this. We need to be moving forward. Yeah, Bob, we are going to have probably a year of deflation. Inflation is coming. We are going to have higher taxes. There will be a cost to all of this medicine, and it's probably not going to feel good. But again, we are in this. We are in this together. I wanted to see what the economies look like. And again, based on one article, New York Times, Minneapolis, Cleveland, and LA acted early. Their economies proved stronger than their sister cities of St. Paul, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco. So that's what I found. Thought you might find that interesting. We need some good news for all of this suffering that we're going through, and I thought this article was worth talking about. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Take care.